what you're feeling isn't just a bad day or a rough patch. It's something deeper, something buried beneath layers of exhaustion, self-doubt, and the relentless pressure of a world that never seems to slow down. You've been carrying this weight for so long that it feels normal, like a second skin. The constant loop of "I should be doing more. Why is this so hard for me? And when will it finally get easier?" has become your soundtrack. But here's the truth: the weight you feel isn't a reflection of your strength or your worth. It's a sign that something inside you has been systematically weakened. And it's time to stop blaming yourself and start understanding the real enemy. The universe didn't bring you here by accident. There's a reason you're listening to this right now. The universe doesn't make mistakes. It knew you'd need to hear this because it knew you were ready to wake up from the nightmare of struggle. You felt it, the weight on your chest. Like a boulder, you can't lift the night, staring at the ceiling, wondering if you'll ever catch a break. The gnawing feeling that no matter how hard you try, you're just running on a hamster wheel that never stops. That isn't life. That's a cage. And you are not meant to live in a cage. I know how tired you feel. I know the exhaustion isn't just physical, it's in your bones. It's in the way your mind replays every mistake, every missed opportunity, every time. The universe seemed to turn its back on you. You've prayed, you've meditated, you've tried to stay positive, you've read the books, listened to the podcasts, followed the routines, but nothing sticks. The bills keep coming, the stress won't lift, and deep down you wonder, is there something wrong with me? Am I being punished? Did I do something to deserve this? No, you are not. What you're feeling isn't a spiritual failure. It isn't bad karma. It isn't God testing you. It is something far simpler and far more reversible than that. Your brain has been hijacked, and you have been kept in the dark about it for your entire life. Let me explain something that will change everything. There is an organ in your brain that acts as your direct line to God, to the universe, to abundance. Scientists call it the hippocampus, but I call it your God organ, because when it's healthy, it's the antenna that picks up the frequencies of miracles. When it's shrunk, you can't hear those frequencies. Add all, you're cut off. And the modern world has been shrinking it in everyone, especially in good people like you, people who care too much, who try too hard, who feel too deeply. How does this happen? Through chronic stress, the endless grind, the never-ending to-do lists, the fear of not having enough, every email unanswered, every deadline missed, every "I'll sleep when I'm dead" mentality. All of this floods your system with cortisol, the stress hormone that literally eats away at the hippocampus. It's not your fault. You were born into a world that was designed to keep you small. But now that you know the truth, you can start to reverse it. Picture your hippocampus like a garden. When it's healthy, it's lush, vibrant, full of life. It can hear the whispers of the universe, the intuitive nudges, the sudden ideas, the moments of clarity that feel like magic. But when it's shrunk, it's like a barren wasteland. No growth, no connection, just silence. And that silence is what keeps you stuck, repeating the same patterns, attracting the same struggles, feeling like you're always one step behind. This isn't some abstract theory, it's science. Studies have shown that chronic stress shrinks the hippocampus by up to 25% in extreme cases. That's not a metaphor, that's measurable. The more you're stressed, the more your hippocampus withers. And the less it can do its job, the more stressed you become, creating a vicious cycle that feels impossible to break. But here's where it gets even darker. The modern world doesn't just happen to shrink your hippocampus, it's designed to do it. Schools, jobs, social media, all of it is structured to keep you in a state of low-grade panic. Why? Because when your brain is small, when you're stuck in survival mode, you're predictable, you're controllable, you're a worker bee, not a free soul. And the system thrives on that. The slave wave is what's running your life right now. Beta brain waves, the energy of panic, of survival, of never feeling safe. It's the frequency of debt collectors, calling of sleepless nights, of feeling like you're always one step away from disaster. And here's the cruel joke: the world rewards you for staying in this state. The system is built to keep you in beta, because in beta you're productive, you're compliant, you're too exhausted to question anything. But the wealthy, they operate from theta, the billionaire brainwave, the frequency of flow, of intuition, of effortless abundance. They don't stress about money because their brain is wired to receive it without struggle. They don't feel trapped because they're not trapped in their own minds. They are in the zone, in the flow, in the miracle. And this isn't some mystical idea. The CIA has studied this for decades. They've known how to use sound waves to alter consciousness, to keep people in beta, to prevent them from accessing higher states of awareness. Why? Because an awake mind is a dangerous mind. An awake mind questions the system. An awake mind demands more. An awake mind cannot be controlled. So if you've ever felt like you're up against something bigger than yourself, you're not wrong. You are. The system has been rigged against your brain. But here's the good news: it can be undone, and faster than you think. The deep reason you are going through this pain is specifically because of your shrunken hippocampus. That is the root cause. So if you want to start changing this reality today by simply regrowing this connection with a sound wave, then click the link in the description right now and change your life today, now, to understand how we truly heal this. Let's go deeper. The hippocampus doesn't just magically shrink on its own. It's a victim of the world you've been living in. Every time you felt helpless, every time you felt like the universe wasn't listening, every time you've pushed yourself to the brink of burnout, it all added up. It carved grooves in your brain, pathways of fear, of doubt, of separation. But the beautiful thing about the brain is that it can rewire itself. Neuroplasticity isn't just a buzzword, it's your superpower. And the key to unlocking it: sound, not just any sound. Specific frequencies that resonate with the hippocampus, that tell it to regrow, to repair, to reconnect. These frequencies aren't new. They've been studied for decades. Scientists discovered them while trying to heal soldiers from PTSD. They found that certain sound waves could literally rebuild damaged brain tissue. They found that these same frequencies could unlock states of deep intuition and flow states that the ultra-wealthy have been using in secret to maintain their power. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how some people just know things before they happen? How they make decisions that seem effortless, almost as if the universe is guiding them. That's not luck. That's a brain that's operating in theta and delta waves, the frequencies of deep intuition and subconscious connection. And the hippocampus is the gateway to those states. But here's the catch: your hippocampus can't access those states when it's shrunk. It's like trying to tune into a radio station with a broken antenna. You're picking up static interference. Nothing but noise. No wonder you feel lost. No wonder you feel like you're fighting an uphill battle. The good news: the brain can heal, and it can heal fast. When you expose your hippocampus to the right frequencies, it doesn't just stop shrinking, it starts regrowing within days. You can feel the difference. The fog lifts the chest, tightness eases the weight on your shoulders, starts to dissolve. This isn't some long drawn-out process. It's not about years of therapy or hours of meditation. It's about 7 minutes a day, 7 minutes to play a sound wave that rewires your brain, that reopens your connection to the divine, that melts away the stress like ice under sunlight. You don't need to meditate for hours. You don't need to spend years in therapy. You don't need to manifest your way out of this. You just need to listen. And in 7 minutes, you can feel the difference. Let me give you a real example. Take Sarah, a 34-year-old nurse who was drowning in debt and burnout. She worked 60-hour weeks, barely slept, and felt like she was one emergency away from collapse. She tried everything: budgeting, affirmations, even therapy, but nothing stuck. Then she found a 7-minute sound wave designed to stimulate the hippocampus. Within 3 days, she slept through the night for the first time in years. Within a week, she started noticing opportunities she'd been missing: side gigs, better paying shifts, even a spontaneous job offer that doubled her income. She wasn't doing anything different. Her external world hadn't changed, but her internal world had. Her hippocampus had started to regrow. And suddenly, she was operating from a place of flow instead of fear. Or take Mark, a 42-year-old entrepreneur who was stuck in a cycle of feast or famine. He'd build up momentum, then burn out. He'd have a great idea, then talk himself out of it. He was smart, hardworking, and desperate for a breakthrough. Then he started using the same sound wave. Within 2 weeks, his decision-making shifted. He started trusting his gut again. Deals that used to feel like a gamble now felt inevitable. His bank account grew, not because he worked harder, but because he was finally receiving instead of chasing. These aren't outliers. They're proof that your brain isn't broken, it's just been hijacked. The world has been lying to you. It's told you that struggle is noble, that suffering is virtuous, that you have to earn your way to peace. But that's a lie. Abundance isn't something you chase, It's something you remember. It's the natural state of a mind that's connected to the source. And your hippocampus is the key. So if you're ready to stop feeling like a stranger in your own life, if you're ready to stop waiting for the universe to finally show up for you, if you're ready to reclaim the ease and flow that was always meant to be yours, then listen closely. The sound wave is waiting for you. It's been patiently waiting for you to find it, and it will change everything. The link is in the description. Click it now, not later, not when you're ready now, because the universe has been waiting for you to make this choice. And when you do, the magic begins. Click the link. Heal your hippocampus, reclaim your life, and step into the abundance that was always yours.